Okay, so there's this place in YouTube now. It's called the inspiration section. And I have it. I didn't know I have it, but I do. And it's like, why do you suggest the best Linux distro for your first gaming PC? Like if you're building a computer just for Linux, what would it be? And going through all the experience that I've had so far, I can tell you the worst thing to have for a gaming PC ever for your first distro, and that would be Linux Mint. That thing is just, it holds you back. You don't want to do that. The second worst would be Ubuntu or anything related to anything Debian that's not Pikaos 4. Now, I have my reasons for that. It's just been a horrible, bad experience with Ubuntu, Mint, MX Linux, or anything related to that. Pikaos 4 and 3 have been the best experiences with something like an Ubuntu built distro and a Debian distro, because they update them, they modernize them, and they make them fast, efficient, and lightweight. That's what I like about Pikaos. But when it comes to actual gaming and everything else, I'm always on Cachy. I'm going to be honest here. My mood is 99% CachyOS unless I'm trying to like figure out more content for Fedora 41. We just finished Fedora 41 as a whole. I'm done with it. It's interesting, but it's got a lot of issues that it needs to fix, like outdated packages and stuff. It surely has fallen behind. And the only reason I don't have my video, my cam on, is because there's a lot of dishes behind me and I've been not cleaning up after myself lately. And that's sucky, but it's part of life. So when it comes to building a new gaming PC, well, that's up to you. That's your forefront. Do I recommend NVIDIA or AMD? I recommend both. Simple as that. AMD, if you just want to do gaming and nothing content related, you're good to go on AMD's front. If you want to do gaming, content creation, video editing, photo editing, 3D rendering, anything, NVIDIA is pretty much your only choice at this point, because AMD itself lacks a lot in the video editing, performance department, and more. Sure, you can do work on the AMD side, but it's not going to be as fast, as efficient, and as clean looking as NVIDIA. That's just the facts. So what I mean by that is, if we take settings here and we go into output recording, you'll notice that I'm using NVENC. NVENC is superior to anything that AMD will ever do. Well, maybe not ever, but for right now, AMD has nothing that is even equal to it. Like if NVENC, I don't know if NVENC existed on the GTX 400 cards, but if it did, that would still be superior to anything AMD does today. Simple as that. Okay? There's a lot of things to consider when you're choosing the right gaming distro, the right distro for gaming. One of the key things is the kernel. I hate to be that guy, but the kernel plays a huge part in whether you're going to get good performance or not. And the kernel version, if it's a rolling release distro, you're always going to have the newest kernel. And sure, that comes with bugs. I mean, having an older kernel comes with more bugs because you're waiting for them to patch in certain updates and stuff, and it's not as efficient as just using the newest kernel. Because if you are part of a good community like CachyOS and you have an issue, you can go into the core channel and report it, and they'll notify you if they find the same issue, or you can show them the issue, like a video or something like that. And most of the time they'll like try to find a fix for it, or they'll tell you when a fix is coming for it, or they'll report it or something like that. So they do a lot of really good work, right? The kernel is very, very heavily important, and having an optimized kernel like the CachyOS kernel, if we go and we open up the, where did I put it? The CachyOS kernel manager, you can see there's a lot of different kernels. There's the BMQ, there's the Bohr, there's the Decify, there's the EVDF. That's the one I used to use. There's the CachyOS GCC, and then there's the hardened, there's the normal CachyOS kernel. There used to be Auto FDO, but that got merged into this one right there, and obviously this one. There's the LTS kernel, so that's the long-term kernel, right? There's the newest RC kernel, which we're currently using. There's the RT Bohr, which is real-time Bohr, and so much more. There's just a ton of different kernels. And 99% of the time, you're good with just this one, just the normal stock kernel, because it does everything it needs to. And if you need to do stuff for it, you can literally go in here and it will tell you if you're running Rusty or not, and yada, yada, yada. It will always have your best interest in mind without touching anything. That is important, the kernel. Now, whether the distro handles your drivers or not. So if a distro does not handle your NVIDIA drivers and you have to do everything yourself, that's a good learning experience. But if you're trying to settle down on a normal distro, you want one that handles drivers for you. CachyOS does that out of the box. Pikaos 4 does that out of the box. And those two are still compatible with Pascal, so I can recommend those. I can't recommend Deborah anymore until they end up fixing that, and most people hopefully will understand that. I just don't really want to push that and have someone on Pascal come to my video and be like, it doesn't work. And then I have to be like, did you try the thing in the pins in the Bora channel? And they're like, no. And they're like, well, there's your problem. Skill issue. I'm kidding about the skill issue part. So if it handles your drivers, you're good to go. So out of the box, it will handle your NVIDIA drivers. It will handle the AMD drivers, which are automatically built in with Mesa. It will handle the Intel drivers, which are automatically handled by Mesa. So CachyOS, Pikaos 4 are all around amazing selections. But again, I always come back to CachyOS, whether it's my own version of it or it's this version, which is just CachyOS. And then another thing that it comes down to is how optimized are the packages? Most people don't understand that if we go in here and we do a yay, I'm going to do a yay, and let's say, what's a very important package, I guess? Well, not really that important, but a compiled version of a package that they have. Okay. Let's do extension manager. So if we go in here, you'll see that there's extension manager, right? It's just normal extension manager. It's not a V3 or a V4. Okay. Say Plasma. Go in here to Plasma, go up, and you'll notice that there's a ZN version 4. What that means is it's been like compiled to use modern instruction sets to be more performant. At least that's what I'm getting at. And that helps a lot with performance. So you'll end up having a better performing KDE. It will use important instruction sets on your CPU. That's what I'm gathering. And things like Gnome and so on and so forth. That's awesome. That gives you just an overall better experience. So having certain desktop environments be recompiled to be faster and more efficient is amazing. CachyOS does that. I don't know if Pikaos 4 does that fully. I haven't fully checked because I don't think the V4, if it does, it does. I'm sure Cosmos is going to come in here and correct that in the comments. But again, that's very important. I know you probably can't see that. Let me just zoom in so I can make sure that you do see what I'm talking about. Right up here. This thing. Okay, I am on a 9900X from Ryzen, so that's why I'm using V4 now instead of V3. V3's for older Ryzen, but it's still optimized for older Ryzen and other things in Intel. So it's not just about AMD, it's about Intel CPUs as well, because the CPU needs to perform as well as the GPU does. Okay. What else? Great for gaming. Well, performance wise, I mean, you've seen me stream on CachyOS. If you haven't, check my live streams, but I don't really have any games installed. I've been concentrating on Guild Wars 2 and RuneScape for the last couple days, but they perform as optimally as they ever have. Better than Windows, in fact. And since I use the closed drivers now, I have that Windows performance on Linux, and those regressions are gone. I can't recommend the NVIDIA Open driver. No matter how many times I want to, I just can't do it. But I do end up playing different titles and such, because I am me. So I do have my Cyberpunk, and I do play my Silent Hill, and there's the original Silent Hill, Restless Dreams. I was playing that, and Stalker 2 is here, and like everything is here, everything's ready to go, and things do just perform really well. I don't know if Stalker 2 is going to perform really well while I'm recording, but honestly, I'm going to try. Let me just attempt to try, and I don't want it to be laggy for you, so I'm going to have to do this. Make sure that we're good. Yeah, we are. Okay. No, I do not want to lock preview. So let's go into the game. Hopefully we won't get the message that we have to compile shaders. Okay, well, it's going really quick. But, like, modern titles do end up working. The only thing you're going to have trouble with is Fortnite or Call of copy and paste and things like that. Not all multiplayer online games are broken on Linux. The majority of them do work. The ones that have developers that actually care. The developers that don't care won't push the button, so you won't end up with, you know, just plain old compatibility. The CEO of Fortnite or of Epic Games just outright refuses because he hates Valve, which is sad. Like, we're here, we're playing, we're at 100 plus FPS. The game's pretty much maxed out. I was in the middle of going that way, but I don't know. There's just something wrong with this game. It just does not feel as smooth as it should, and I don't know what it is. It may be me, but I'm not really a fan of it as much as I want to be. Like, I know there's something about controls in here where it has input on or something like that that messes with mouse and aim. I don't know what it is. I think it's like raw input something or other. I don't know how to turn it off. But yeah, the game does perform very well. We're in a storm. I do need to head down there. Is this gonna hurt me? No. Okay. I killed you. Let's head this way. I really shouldn't be out here during a storm. But here we are. But yeah, if you build a good PC, be it AMD or NVIDIA, you're going to have a good experience on CachyOS no matter what. And is kind of really important for a lot of things, right? Because you want to be able to enjoy yourself. I'm not picking up very many rads. Oh, I don't want to be over here. I don't want to be over here. I can go around this, right? And other games, like, let's say Harry Potter and what's it called, Hogwarts Legacy, that runs so perfectly. Much better on Linux than it does Windows because it has less stuttering issues, less bugs. It's honestly more...
Anybody, please.
What?
Station is under attack. Hiding in the outhouse with one of my brothers. Can't we come up? Need help immediately. My coordinates don't...
Oh. Well, I'm a hero, so I have to go help that guy. What is this place? Like, there are some titles that just run better on Linux. Red Dead Redemption 2, Doom Eternal, Doom itself, Cyberpunk. God, no, Cyberpunk does, unless you're using path tracing. And then, well, on the closed source driver, you know, I haven't really tested it much, but it did run better. It ran as well as it does on Windows. There's just a lot of different variants when it comes to gaming on a different operating system that you need to understand. So if you have a distro that ends up taking care of you, it ends up being a lot better, right? Let's try to go this way over here. We're going to turn this off. I don't know what to do here. Like, is this the place that's being attacked? Oh, yeah, you see, it just feels weird. I don't know. It even feels weird on Windows. This game is just so odd.
Anyone hear me? The station was attacked. Passed out. She's getting worse. Somebody. Coordinates are...
What the hell are you? I need a new vest soon. Okay. I'm gonna try to be as quiet as I can here. There's a guy right up ahead. Are these heavies? Oh. What? Are these zombies? These are zombies.
Anybody, please! Our station is under attack. Hiding in the outhouse with one of my brothers. Can't we come up? Need help immediately. My coordinates are...
Station's under attacks. You can find the garbage stash, lesser zone stashes, talk to survivors. I don't know. I don't know what to do in here. Oh, there's a guy. I didn't want that. I'm gonna turn on my light. Is there more guys here? Where are we? I know this is weird that I want to give you some gaming. You know, I'm a nice guy, you know. Oh, maybe they're down.
Anyone hear me? The station was attacked. Passed out. He's getting worse. Somebody, please help us. My coordinates are...
Your coordinates are what, buddy? Station coordinates. See, things like this that make me go back sometimes and just want to play this, but I need to get back to the video because we're about 17 minutes in, and I'm just like, I kind of want to just continue this. Other things is the inclusion of being able to get whatever software you want. Having Steam in the repos, having Lutris, having Heroic. If you don't know what these are, Steam handles your games for PC, so you can open it up, run to Steam, go to settings, compatibility enable for all titles, use Proton Experimental, and install any game that you really need to. And for Lutris, it handles GOG, don't recommend it. Epic, don't recommend it. EA app, fine. Ubi Connect, I'd rather use Heroic, and so on. It's an all-in-one type of thing. It also handles Linux applications. This handles Epic, GOG, and Prime Gaming. And yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm going to just deal with that later. I don't want to mess with that. In its settings, it has a whole bunch of stuff like using built-in blah, 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 EOS overlay, disable logs, you know, there's a bunch of stuff that it can do. And it works very, very well even on Windows. You can use this on Windows. So I have a lot of games in here, about 890 that I can install and just start playing, enjoying my life with. So it's nice to have. I highly recommend this over Lutris any day of the week because it works better. But again, your first gaming distro should be the one that you remember most of all. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that like Arch is not user friendly, it's not beginner friendly. Whoever told you that has a poor reading ability and has a lot of skill issues. When it comes to learning Arch, it's pretty much just sudo pacman-s. SYU is a system update. sy refreshes your repos. Like, we need to do an sy right now because the repos updated, and there we go. Now we have all the information from the repositories that we end up using. This is to do a full system update, so if there's any updates like there is here, we can install them and go. And say you want to install a package that's not inside of the repositories, like Spotify. If you're one of those people that like poor sounding music, there's Spotify right there. First one, AUR. AUR can handle a lot of packages for you. So if you just hit enter, it's going to download a Debian install file, so a .deb, and you're going to import this, and there you go. You end up installing the dependencies it needs to build. I'm not doing that because, again, I don't use Spotify. What app do I use that I don't have right now? I have my Lact, I have my VMware, I have my Virt Manager, I have everything that I need. I wonder if Affinity is now in the A. Tuna. It is not. Strange. Yeah, there's lots of apps that I used to grab from the AUR. These days, most of them are just support it with actual packages and stuff. Like, if you didn't want to download Heroic, you could just jump in and you can grab Heroic Game Launcher from here. And there you go. Most of the time, the AUR saves you from going on to your web browser and finding things out. You can just yay something, and there you go. And if you know the package name, you can do -s. And if you want to do a full system update within Yay, and you have a bunch of packages like Discord Canary, Microsoft, blah, 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 all that, hit enter, and it will go through everything for it. It will update everything, and your AUR packages will take care of themselves as long as you're able to do it. So the AUR is a huge help in Linux, and Arch is very beginner friendly. It's honestly one of the distros most people should start on because it gives you a good grasp on what Linux is. You can install it from scratch. You can make it your own. It's one of the best beginner-friendly distros you can truly, honestly have. And I wish I found it sooner, but most distros need time to evolve. Distros like SerpentOS, which are in alpha, it's an interesting concept, but they need like an actual GUI package manager. Moss, search, yada, 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 interesting. But the lack of NVIDIA driver is a no-go. I wanted to run it. I like it. Defaulting to Wayland support for Discord Canary. Great. I'm glad that they do that. So there we go. We updated those packages, and now if I close this out and I open it back up, we're on the new version. So, yeah. Most of the time, there's no need to restart your computer after an update either. It updates everything it needs to, and then you're good to go. Ugh. Things like DaVinci's Resolve, Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer. I have videos for all of those on how to install and run these. I have videos on how to get started with Linux gaming, on Lutris, on Heroic. I have videos on how to set up Virt Manager, and there's overclocking utilities for your GPU like Lact. It's really nice. You can control how much power your GPU uses, and so much more. I mean, here we are. Here's Rayojinx. Yeah, there we go. Right now, there's a weird bug if you run it through Lutris. It tends to be pretty problematic, but yeah, I think I stayed on topic for most part for this video. It's kind of difficult to really go over, what you can do, the reasons being that it makes a good beginner's distro and so on. Syntax is pretty easy, simple to understand. Here's a good reason. There's a good reason right there for you. This is a GUI package manager. So, if you wanted anything, you could just scroll through here and grab it. It's pretty cool. And I think if we go into, where is it? Repositories all. Yeah, it even searches the AUR, which is nice. So you could find whatever you wanted in here. So if you wanted to, you could search Spotify, and there's Spotify. There's a lot of different Spotifys. Do I actually have to hit the AUR? All. I guess Yeah, it does. Use the A tool. Okay. And then hit enter for Spotify. And there you go. A lot of different Spotify stuff. So you do have to click that button to make it work. But there's Spotify. There's Spotify with ad block, DNS block. It's all there. You have an abundance of tools. So is Arch Linux beginner friendly? Completely. As long as you are fine with using your common sense, your ability to read. If you want to not do any of that, just download CachyOS, throw it on a USB via Rufus or anything else and get started. I mean, it's all here. And god damn it, why does that never work for me when I try to do it the first time? How many fast things do I have installed? There you go. It's pretty. If you want to know how I made this pretty, watch my Gnome video in the playlist in the description below. It houses everything. It's basically an all-in-one guide on how to learn Linux and its little quirks and stuff. Okay, and with that, I am out. I will leave a link in the description below for Pikaos 4 and for CachyOS, and I will see you guys in the next video. I don't know. If this works, it works. The best Linux distro for your first gaming PC. If this inspiration thing fails completely, well, I guess YouTube's got some brainstorming to do. Hi everybody, don't forget to subscribe. Like this video.